Is this rock bottom? Let's hope it is. Ton to talk about. Bears Monday, 7 losses in a row. CHGO Bears podcast starts right now. Rock bottom, let's hope it's so. Welcome into the CHGO Bears podcast on a nauseating 7 losses in a row. When will it end? How did we get here? How the hell are we getting out of this? I could keep going. Monday, Lance Briggs, Herb Howard, yours truly, Mark Carman, and all of you. Good to see Scottish Bear and Crystal and JB.
Arctic.
And even Bushnell right out of the gates with a $9.99 super chat. Quote, the Bears love tradition. This year we maintain our annual tradition of cleaning house, discussing the draft before the postseason, and not playing meaningful football in December.
Let's go, Bush. You are on point with that.
You know,
Killed it.
So let me just go back in time to start the show.
Yep.
55. Because you came here in your first 2 years, under 500.
Yep.
And then 11-5, 13-3, go to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
and you know the 05-06 was the last 2 years that the Bears were over 500 in back-to-back seasons.
Wow.
05-06. Now, but you had a bunch of just 500 winning seasons. Like you had 4 in a row towards the end until Trestman went 5-11.
Yep.
So like that was like. As far as the history of the Bears is concerned, outside of the 85 Bears and 84-89, when, you know, that was the biggest sustained success.
Correct.
So I am trying to, like, figure out, like, what part of wisdom you could give. Like, they've been searching for this sustained success forever and trying to get out of this. Yeah. Like, I don't know if there's any wisdom that you'd like to impart on the McCaskies, on Kevin Warren, on Ryan Poles, on anyone who's listening in any organization anywhere on what that looks like.
You know, I don't. The thing that, and not to not answer your question, but the thing that is most kind of concerning for me is who stays,
right?
You know what I mean? Like what we've needed was the defense to stay consistent, because you stay consistent, we can continue to build around.
Right.
You're not consistent, it begins to be more of a rebuild than a build. So we obviously know that we have to get offensive line, but we have to get more consistency in these last games from our defense to say, instead of just like Bushnell said, cleaning the house, we have to figure out who stays and who's going to be here while we continue to build into a championship caliber team.
Well, and maybe we should just rewind back to today, because Thomas Brown had his press conference, and Herb, you got in there with a couple of questions.
Yeah.
And the refrain from, like, who's staying, who's going, like, trying to figure that out. They need to figure out how Matt Eberflus, now Thomas Brown, players, we had a great week of practice. I don't know why it didn't show up on game day.
I'm so sick of that, man. Like, in my lifetime, per the coaches, the Bears have never had a bad week of practice.
Never.
And that's just not the reality of football. I've been around football long enough. Sometimes you just have a bad week of practice. And you can feel it. You be like, hey, we about to get our ass kicked because everybody's out here lethargic. Cats are running out on the field a little late and kind of walking through. And it's like, you can feel that. You can every single time they talk, it's been a great week of preparation. And then we go out there and lay a dud. Last week, I was in Hallis Hall. Energy was high. Vibes were good.
Yeah.
Players and coaches all saying the right things, right? There was this expectation of this boost of energy, if nothing else, coming on Sunday in San Francisco. And then to go out there and play as uninspired as they did. I mean, 5 plays, 75 yards, touchdown, round bat, 3 and out. Like, it's like this game was over. Steven said, "Hey, Herb, you got the 5 key plays?" I said it was the first 5 plays of the game. That's why I didn't even do it. It was over.
Shoot.
Like the offense couldn't respond to that, and it's like y'all let them come straight down the field. You got George Kittle. I know he's a great player. To me, he's the best tight end in the league. He gets his numbers against everybody, but because of that, I'd imagine we got 85 circled on the board. I'd imagine somebody had on a red 85 jersey at practice out there all
week long. These are the plays that they get to their best player all week long. These are the down and distances. This is the situation where it happens. These are our alerts for 85 to get the ball. To run as wide open as he did all day, to play in that much space, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all, because during the week, I've been in practices during the week, just like you were saying, Herb, where I screwed up on Wednesday. I screwed up on the play on Wednesday, so they would bring that play, that specific play back on Thursday, and waiting to see if I can get it right on Thursday. Yeah. I messed it up on Thursday. Then after practice, it's like, hey, do you think maybe we need to take this out, because I don't feel like you're on it. And I'm like, no, coach, I'll get it. I'll get it. Don't worry, I'll get it. We do the walkthrough on Friday and Saturday. They bring that play back again. I'm on it. I told you I got it, coach. Cool. And then we go into it with a little more confidence. Right. So when you have Kittles that accounts for so much of what they do, why isn't every play we're flying to the ball or flying to knowing where he's calling it out? Hey, alert this, alert tight end screen. Yeah. Hey, alert the hook, tight end hook right now. I don't get it.
I remember one of my favorite mic'd up clips from Bill Belichick. They playing the Colts, and he walks over and he's telling the DC, I can't remember if it was Cornell at the time or who it was, but he's like, we cannot let Dallas Clark beat us. He was like, it's a sin to let their best player beat us. What are we doing, right? And so, like, they don't have McCaffrey, right?
No.
Ayuk been out. They still got Debo, but you got to have the focus of this defense on 85. It has to be.
Well, and also Jawan Jennings was their top wide receiver. They let him get loose for 90 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He had
which would have been fine. I would have been perfectly okay with that. If Kittle don't go for $152.
Correct.
Like, both of those things can't happen.
They're both right.
Either you focus on George Kittle, and so this dude goes off a little bit.
Yes.
Or the other way around. They both can't go off. That's crazy.
Well, also, let's just go super basic. First drive of the game. 49ers get the ball at the 30. First play, up the middle. Pass to Jennings. Top receiver, 7 yards. No problem. 2nd and 3. Best play of the day. Here comes Gervon Dexter Sr. He cracks the hell out of Grendo. Yeah. 3rd and 3. All right, we're rocking. No problem. The Bears look like they're there. Next pass, Grendo. 23-yard pass down to the 40. Okay, now we're shook. What's up next? Oh, George Kittle for 33 more. Down to the 7. What's the next play? Touchdown, Jennings. Boom, boom, boom. 3 plays. Yeah. Boom. I mean, that's not being ready to play.
It's not. You're not playing inspired football. You're not proving that you want this coach to be here. You're not proving that you want to be here. And that sets us back.
So let me read you a quote from the 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk out of Biggs' column today. Quote, I'm sure you're going to react to this one, Lance. We felt like they have very reactive linebackers. We felt like a misdirection could help us out in a run game and get them going laterally. We got things clicking early, and that is something we had stressed. Starting fast and keeping that energy up the whole game, not taking our foot off the pedal, But they saw what their linebackers were doing. They created a game plan for it. They exposed it. They took advantage of it. They killed the Bears.
Yeah. I've said this over the past few weeks. When the Bears linebackers get into a 7-man front, so let's say they're in cover 2, against the run, they don't fall back. So you have your D linemen are getting doubled, and your linebackers are stepping to the play side wherever the ball's stepping. When you have a 7-man front, the ball can bounce back. Because he can find a lane, which means you have to 2-gap. So when you step over to the play side, when you fall back, you have to fall back with intent. All right, you have to fall back knowing that the ball now has to declare, and if it declares in your gap, you have to know that if it declares in your gap, you have to have lean. You have to come down ready to hit. If not, they're gonna gas you, or he's gonna hit you, drive you back 5 yards. They don't they're not playing downhill enough to me. They're not playing downhill in the 8-man fronts, and they're not playing downhill when they play in the 7-man fronts. And so we continuously get gashed. And I'm not going to sit up here and put that all on the defensive linemen, because the defensive linemen sometimes are out of their gaps too or get pushed out. But these linebackers aren't playing downhill enough.
And so people are
football talk. I love that.
Yeah, I knew you were.
I'm over here geeking out. I love
that. That was red meat right there for her. Yeah. But people are saying, "Oh, well, maybe they are going to miss Matt Eberflus calling that defense." I mean, you're not saying that was just a this week thing. You're saying that's been going on all year.
The breakdown in passes and this and that, whatever. Maybe not getting close to Kittle's. But run fits. You can get a guy off the street to do run fits, to get into a doggone gap with force and say, hey, I need you to get in that gap, and I want you to hit it as hard as possible. All right? That's your gap. Don't let anybody get through that gap. That's the most disappointing part, and that's been shown up from the very beginning of the season. Run game has been a problem.
I feel like Tremaine Edmonds relies a lot on his athletic ability, like just his size and length and speed, and he does not play downhill.
Nope.
TJ plays downhill. Like to me, TJ was the only person on defense yesterday, aside from the play you referenced with Javon, that played physical, like a physical brand of football for 4 quarters. He came on a blitz and blew that running back up, like just blew him straight up.
Yeah.
And like I feel like TJ plays that way, and side to side, I think Tremaine is really, really good. He's got great range. He can get sideline to sideline. Downhill in his gap, there's this moment of hesitation that I don't really understand about him. We talked about it before.
Yep.
A couple weeks ago when he got juked out in the flat by the running back.
Yep.
And we was like, of course, because you waited for him to catch the ball.
Correct.
If you go right now,
you gotta go.
You can hit him on the catch.
Right.
But if you let him square you up, most running backs gonna beat most linebackers in the open field. Right. So he's got to be more decisive and just get downhill.
But that's also, see the thing, the problem with all this is, how are they being coached?
Yeah.
The habit, it's the habit that you're seeing. When we played, we weren't allowed to break down for a ball carrier. We have to go right now, take a shot on your leverage side. So everybody, you have 11 guys that are flying to the ball. If I miss to my leverage side. Peanut's coming from the outside. It's a big hit, or he's going to make that play. So when you see, sometimes when I see linebackers and when they're getting close to the ball carrier, they start to break down. Now you open up the options for the ball carrier.
Yep.
You have to limit his options. You have to limit his and make him react right now. So it's interesting because when I see it, the first thing that pops in my mind is, how is he being coached?
Is that not believing? Because y'all, like cliche, 11 men to the ball, right? Yeah. We're not going to get 11 men to the ball, but if we got 11 men on their way. Right?
Yes.
If we got 11 men on the way, if somebody misses, I know the next 2 or 3 are right here. And that allows me to play more aggressive.
Correct. A lot of people don't teach that. A lot of teams don't teach it that way. I think we were very rare because I see it at the high school level. I see it at the NFL level. When I see it on the field at the NFL level, I see it on my feed on all these training tapes where this is how you properly come to make a tackle. And to me, I fundamentally do not believe in that. Take your shot, run as fast as you can, and eliminate his options right now.
All right. Topic of this opening segment was whether or not we hit rock bottom. I don't think we've solved it or not, but let me just give you my quick my hypothesis on why I think we have. And maybe Scottish Bear or John Dudley or Fredo or Rostavision, who I'm seeing, or Nicholas Morano's popping in the chat, has a different feeling. But I don't think anybody out there thinks the Bears are going to win another game this year. Maybe one. And so whatever optimism there was through 3-14, Justin, that he was going to find it, or eventually they'd find their quarterback, and this thing was headed in the right direction. Kevin Ward, Ryan Poles, Flus, we're not sure about you, but maybe you can do this. Like all that optimism, the people that were like diehard Justin guys that thought that was going to go that way, and then the other side of the Caleb crew, which I'll whatever. People all thought that somewhere this was going to hit.
Right.
It hasn't hit anywhere.
We on our way back to another 14-game skid.
I mean,
we at 7 now? If they lose the next 4, you at 11? Like, how you have 2 14-game skids in season and a half? 2 seasons?
So that'll get to a Ryan Bowles question, which we can do coming on back here. But first, shout out to our friends at Factor Meal Kits. Look, y'all see the days are getting shorter. To-do lists, those are not. Power through the busy days. Make your life easy. I mean, you got a lot of Bears tape to break down here. Or maybe you're looking ahead to the draft. Factor's got the no prep, no mess meals, breakfast, dinner, anything in between. Easy, nutritious, going to keep you fueled up. You're going to be feeling your best. 35 different delicious meals every week, over 60 additional convenience options. You got the keto cookies, the pressed juices, the smoothies. I mean, Lance starts going Factor, you might get back on the field. And by the way, they need you. We know this. This is what you do. Go to factormeals.com and then put in that code CHGO Bears 50. Factormeals.com, CHGO Bears 50. Use that code CHGO Bears 50. You get 50% off your first box, 20% off your next month. CHGO Bears 50 at factormeals.com/CHGO Bears 50. You get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. So shout out to our friends at Factor. And Ray Scarpelli and our friends at Chevy, you are the best. Love you guys. Chevy's just rocking it as always. They've got $32.50 to up to $13 MSRP off of the new Chevy models right now. They've got 125 vehicles at Ray Chevrolet, priced under $20,000. Ray Chevrolet, top Chevy dealer in the Midwest. You're always going to shop Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventory. They're on Route 12 in Fox Lake. Or, of course, you can go to raychevrolet.com. Ray Chevrolet is the best. They've been serving the community since 1963. Go get yourself a Chevy Trax. I mean, $25,000 for a brand new car nowadays, it's a rare opportunity. I mean, I got the leather rocking in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got a nice lifted Chevy.
There you go.
See,
there we go.
There you go. Arizona, you gotta have a lifted truck.
There you go.
Chicago too, if the weather get crazy.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So here, let's talk about the Ryan Poles situation before we get to Lance's grades here. Adam Johns on the Hoge Jahns pod today reporting that Papa John's reports that Poles got a 4-year contract, Flus got a 5-year deal. None of that makes any sense as far as the Flus is concerned. I don't know why they felt they had to overbid for Matt Eberflus, but they did. Okay, fine. Nothing makes sense around the Bears. We get it. But the point is that you are heading into the end of year 3. You are going into a coaching search. You can't have a lame duck general manager. So are you extending Ryan Poles so you can get a dude that you can marry him with your new head coach? Are you firing Ryan Poles to open that whole thing up? I don't think they are, but these are the two options. Or I guess you could say option 3, yeah, we got a lame duck GM, but you'll be here and you might lose some candidates doing that. I mean, the Bears have had this problem of lining everything up for 2 decades now, it seems like. What I mean, are you going to extend Ryan Poles?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. How many more years are we going to go through what we keep going through? How many more years? And not only keep going through what we go through, but keep going through the same exact process. Something has to be off on the process. All right, we have a Kevin Warren who he's more involved. All right, he's much more involved. I don't think this is moving forward. It's just a Ryan Poles decision. There are more heads in that brain trust now. Yeah. But I don't see Ryan Poles being fired and the next guy coming in with his process and his way of thinking be the way. I just don't.
You're not firing him out of basically exhaustion.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
I am. No, seriously, Carm, I'm exhausted by it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think Bears fans are exhausted. But I don't know if Kevin Warren would never say he's exhausted, but I don't know if he's got the want to do that. That would be. That'd be as aggressive as it comes right now.
I mean, hell, if I was Poles, man, I would be down like guys, you gotta play some inspired ball here, man.
For real.
But I mean, we don't have to go through it, but I'm going to go through it. Your first pick was Kyler Gordon.
Yep.
All right. He's a good player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But let's not go crazy and call him a difference maker. Then the rest of that draft, Jaquan Brisker can't stay on the field. Not his fault, but just can't stay on the field.
But he's a hell of a player.
Okay, but
he's a difference maker, and he's a difference maker when he's on the field.
I think we're seeing that.
Oh, yes.
Like you talk about filling gaps, he's downhill in a hurry.
Correct.
Okay, so you're going to give him credit for those two. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Valus, Braxton Jones, Dom Robb, Zach Thomas, Tristan Ebner, Doug Kramer, Tyree Carter, Elijah Hicks, Trenton Gill. Elijah Hicks still on the team. That's a credit for a 7th-round pick. Yeah. Trenton Gill was a horrendous punter. Whatever 7th-round pick, no problem. But he did hang in the league. Doug Kramer's getting handoffs in the backfield. Can't really play. Undersized. Tristan Edward did nothing. Zachary Thomas don't. None of these. There's no impacts here. They're okay. Gordon and Brisker. Okay.
Yep.
But okay. Next year, Darnell Wright.
Yep.
We'll give him a yep, but I'm sorry. Like that Darnell Wright is looking like just a guy to me at this point. He just feels like just a dude.
He doesn't seem like the next.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a
dude. He doesn't seem like that.
He definitely does not. But
he's a guy. I may,
he's got to be more than
I think he's a product of his environment right now.
But, well, I mean, he's the only one on the offensive line that you can point to that you're not getting rid of.
Yep.
Jervon Dexter Sr.
Yes.
Okay, also just a guy. But Tyreek, going south. Pickens, can't do anything. Roshan, Johnny Average. Tyler Scott, they don't play him. Noah Sewell, haven't seen anything. Terrell Smith, a second. Travis Bell, not on the Bears. Kendall Williamson, not on the Bears. Those are 7th-round picks.
Okay.
I mean, it's just it doesn't look good. And then this year, his best thing that he can point to is that Caleb and Rome are building something together. That is exciting.
He likes throwing the ball to Rome.
Yeah.
He really likes throwing the ball to Rome.
Yeah.
And that chemistry is good and is going to serve them well long term. But on Rome's first touchdown in the corner.
Sweet.
Great throw, great catch. Love what they did. Keenan's wide open on the slant right in front of him, though. And he's like, I'm going to throw it to my boy. Over 2 guys.
Well, well, if Keenan didn't drop so many footballs.
That's true. You trust who you trust.
Come on, right?
It was a great throw and a great catch. I have no problem with it.
Well,
but he was looking that way, and Keenan, boop, boop, and he's like, I'm up and over to my guy.
I mean, go ahead.
And for my guy, Rome Odunze, when you're getting beat 31-6 and you score a touchdown.
Oh, I got one better than that.
It's in bad taste, man, to do your dance. And you're bringing it to make it a me. No, fella. Come on, man.
Got one better than that.
Talk to him.
J.O., Jonathan Owens.
Yeah.
His pick. It's 38 to whatever it is, and we get a pick, and we running down the end zone. If you don't step to the sideline and go sit down,
go sit down.
The sideline is right there. You caught it in front of y'all sideline. Just go sit down.
Which lets me.
What are we running down the end zone for?
And there's more detail in that celebration than they had in any of their defensive fits during the game.
Who has the motivation to do that right now?
So this is where I get confused with Thomas Brown. Now he's been here for a second. It's going to be hard for him to call out guys, but if I know that I got 5 games to prove that I'm a head coach in the NFL, here or elsewhere down the line, I am not letting that go on my watch.
I'm not doing that, bro. We are not doing that. We're down 25.
Yeah. The score.
How are we celebrating anything? You got to pick. It might be his first one. I don't know. Cool. We're not doing that, bro. We are not doing that. If I went down there with them myself, get y'all ass back over here, man.
Get out of here. Look at the score.
I mean,
what are you doing?
And he doesn't have to do it publicly on the sideline, or he doesn't have to do it in a press conference, but I do wonder, will he be calling guys in or just addressing the team? Guys.
I would address it immediately.
For real, man.
Yeah,
that's
what's
to
that
me,
for?
that says we're not invested where we should be.
Right. Right.
I don't have the mentality. I don't have the energy to. I'm not happy.
How can you be this excited when we're getting beat up like this?
Yeah. Well, and Owens to me looked like Well, I did just get this pic. Should I go run down there?
He was looking like, are guys coming with me? Are we going to do this? Like, go sit down, bro.
This is your first pick. Take your football. Keep your football.
Right.
Hey, I want to keep this football, whatever.
You made a nice play. Cool. I know it's hard to get picks in the league. I'm not some dude that'll never sniff the league trying to talk bad about a guy who got a pick in the NFL. But the moment did not call for what y'all did. Go sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a walk-on at Northwestern this year who took a punt return back to the house in the game they lost, losing 44-7. And dudes on the sideline were giving him love. Like, I could see that. Like, you just took one against Ohio State or whoever it was. Like, good for you.
Cool.
That's a great moment. We'll even give you some love because we knew we weren't supposed to win this game. This is the NFL. You were playing a 49ers team that was missing their entire team.
You're down 25, bro. You don't go down by 20. You don't lose by 25 in the league.
Yeah.
Most games are one-score games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on. And can we stop the analytics? Can we really, really stop the analytics? This going for 2, third quarter, and we're going to go for – can we cut this out, man?
Yeah.
Like, I know they were down 24. You aren't going to get 3 2-point conversions. Do the analytics tell you that?
Right. Come on, man.
So now you're chasing this point back for stop this. I'm so sick of it.
Well, but they weren't consistent about it. I was totally on go for 2. But so then now the next time you get up there, they're down 8. They were down 19, right? If you go for 2, then it's a 17-point game. If you go for 1, it's an 18-point game. You want to make it 17, don't you?
That's where it didn't make sense, right? The first one, because now you can go for 2 on the second one, and then you can cut it to 16. Yeah, right. If you had taken the extra point earlier, it's just like
you don't run the risk. Yeah, you run the risk too soon.
Like, it's like early third quarter. How about we just get some points? Let's roll. Get another stop. We'll be back down here, no problem.
How sad is it also that we're debating?
Right. What you do when you're down 24?
What do you when you cut it to 24-6? I mean, that's where we're at right now. That's terrible.
No, that's
that's what we're living into. Which again. To the start of the show, this better be. It has to be rock bottom for the Bears. There's just. I mean, how's this? When Matt Eberflus is watching the game yesterday.
Oh, he's probably the only one who enjoyed the game yesterday.
I mean, First of all, do you think Flus watched the game? If you were Flus,
yes, I think he watched the game.
He did. He definitely did. Right.
You're invested.
He's too invested.
Too invested. Those are guys you spent every day with. Yeah.
Now, does he call up Shane Waldron and watch the game with him? Does he watch it with his wife? Does he watch it with his kids? Does he watch it by himself?
Call up Shane Waldron is crazy.
Well, I mean, who does he watch the game with? Hey guys, I'm gonna go watch the Bears right now. Or does somebody get to him? Hey, look. Let's do anything but watch football today. Let me take you to a museum.
I'm sure his family probably tried, but he's not going to go for that.
Yeah, he's a football guy.
Football guy. That's his team still. Yeah. That's my team.
So when they go down the field in 8 seconds to start the game, is he what is the Flus's reaction?
He probably had a natural instinct to reach for his hip and touch the button to talk to Coach Washington. He probably reached for his hip like,
yeah. He's talking about what San Francisco's going to run. Game plan wise, hey, we should be in this. Hey, he should move over. Hey, we got to look out for this right now. He's calling out what San Francisco's probably going to run right now.
Not the same thing, but like, okay, you have your career 2014. You ended with the Bears. Do you watch the first game in 15?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah, I watched the Bears.
Okay.
Listen,
I'd be too bitter. I think if it was me.
I think that's a little different though. It's an off season. It's a little later.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the same. I get it, but like.
Yeah, but no, there was. I don't know if I was how bitter I don't know how bitter I was. I was really ready to walk away from the game.
Okay.
So there was a time period where I said, okay, I do want a little bit of a break. I want a break, but right when I said I want a break, my oldest son's like, Dad, you ready to play some football? My youngest son's like, Dad, when can I play some football? So it was like, all right, break's over.
Right.
We're back into it. So I'm always going to be a part of this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Flus, if you are out there and you watch the game, I personally would have celebrated it a little bit. Like,
a little bit.
Y'all want to put it all on me.
A little bit. I'd have called Adam Schefter.
Oh, hey, babe. Pinkies up.
Yeah. Hey. I heard it. I sucked in the moment. No doubt about it. But let me tell you something. I had us close.
We were there.
We could have won the game.
We were there.
I didn't. I should have called timeout when Tyreek Stevenson was playing around, but we should have won that game. We should have been 5-2. I should be considered for coach of the year with this roster. Do you see the players you just read off, Carm? I got this team. We were 2 over. We put up 35 on Jacksonville.
Can you imagine though if you had made that call like when you got home, like what wifey would say? Like, what were you doing? Like, what were you thinking? You really thought that was the right thing to do, and you're gonna come on.
By the time they got home, Mrs. Eberflus was already packing up boxes. She knew that great house we saw on Hard Knocks was no longer the residence.
Yeah. I'd love to know where Flus was at for you too, Nagy.
After this break, I'm a defend Poles a little bit. Man.
Okay.
You're going hard on his picks and the roster that he's built.
Okay.
I'm gonna back him up a little bit.
Okay. I look forward to hearing it. But first, shout out to our friends at Sunnyside, your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place for all kinds of business.
Talk it up.
Let's do it. We're all welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of the highest quality products. They got 100 strains to choose from. It's Illinois' favorite dispensary. They got locations in the city, Wrigleyville and River North. They got them in the suburbs. They got them in Champaign. They got them in South Beloit. They got the good news. They got the Mindy's. They got the island vibes. Visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Use that promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. HICHGO. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day. Only for 21 and older or Illinois medical card holders. And Gregory, I know you're out there. I miss you, buddy. But I'm going to tell you all about our friends at ComEd, where you can help businesses. Shout out to ComEd. They're helping businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient. A lot of you might know that ComEd didn't do that or did that. Excuse me. They certainly do. It's called the Energy Efficiency Program, and it can help find up to 35% in energy savings. What businesses have to do, they got to sign up for a free facility assessment at ComEd.com/biz. Perhaps they're not doing it because they forgot the website. Businesses, listen up. ComEd.com/biz. 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 You should have it now. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's energy usage and rate. ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law. All right, Herb, go ahead.
So you're going in a little bit on Poles' roster, right?
I am.
And I see Super Chat coming in from Dre Day. King Poles has 14 wins in 3 years as a GM, right?
14-33.
First year was intentional, right?
Straight down.
That's how we got y'all boy Caleb, right?
Yeah.
We lost all those games on purpose.
We did.
Tore that roster down.
Tore the roster down. Anybody could have done that, but he did it. Okay.
Second year.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the 14 wins.
Yeah, right.
We tried to lose 17 times that year.
Yeah.
Second year he comes in. Second year.
These are Pulse tears, by the way, in the middle here from Lance. Just
I know. He's crying about the run defense. Second year, you see the improvement, right? They get to 7 wins, but they also gave up a 20-point lead at home to Denver.
Yep.
Right?
Fair.
They gave up a 12-point lead on the road in Detroit in 4 minutes.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, that's not the GM, right? It's the GM's fault that they blew a 20-point lead at home to the Broncos the week after the Broncos gave up 70 to somebody.
GM hired the coach.
Did he?
Now, if you want to go down that road, if you want to give him a pass on Flus,
I mean, at least through last year. He had the opportunity to fire him after last year. That could have been on him. But through that second season, I don't know that he hired that man.
I can't. I'm not going to push back too hard because I do. Hey, we like these 3 guys. Here are them. And by the way, this guy's represented by your agent. It'd be sweet if you liked him too. All of that is messed up. So I can hear that pass. I can hear it, but it's kind of nauseating.
Too often we cut our losses. We cut our losses and we move on, and we move on with someone that has a whole different vision than the person before. Let's maintain this vision that he has, and see him fix his go through. You're going to go through your ebbs and your flows. You're going to be good. You're going to be bad, and we're going to get to the point where we can get this thing figured out. I'm just tired of us keep cutting our losses and starting over with someone new, and then that clashing with what we had. Now we got to get rid of this guy. Now we got to get rid of that guy. Let's try to freaking build something here. You know what I mean? For once, let's try to really, really build something.
I think that was probably my bad.
No, you're good, and I'll just add on. Like, if you want to make the argument that I believe that Ryan Poles is a smart guy, that he
College,
that he does reasonable things, that he's not necessarily. When I was giving Poles love, which wasn't that long ago, it's like, look, he rational plays, not trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Which is, the same thing that I thought that happened with Caleb. Like, look, man, I got the number 1 pick in the draft. Whether it works out or doesn't work out, I get it. Taking a swing on a guy that your hope is going to be generational.
Sure,
I understood it. He set himself up to do it. He got very lucky that Carolina was as bad as they were last year. No one could have predicted that, but they were, and he was in the position. He got to capitalize. That's taking smart risk and all the things. However, he got to hit on difference makers. They don't have enough of them right now. But go ahead.
So I'm also like on not firing Flus. I feel like he was maybe to Lance's point. Like, let's just not restart for the sake of restarting. Right? I'm not done cooking what I'm cooking yet, so I'm not going to put this all on this coach. Now we come into year 3. I'm almost done cooking. I expect you to win, and when that didn't happen, I made the decision to fire you mid-season. We've never done that before. Right. Let me ask you a question, Carman. Don't go revisionist history on me.
Okay.
What was your record prediction coming into this season?
I said they'd be, I forget, it was either 9-8 or 8-9. I think 9-8.
I think you were 9-8.
I think it was 9-8.
Okay. More reasonable than most people. Some people were 10, 11, right?
Yeah.
Either way, you don't think they're going to have a winning season with a poor roster, right? You don't make a prediction of a winning season if you think the roster's poor.
True. I mean, that's fine. I no pushback.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. Listen. Yeah. No. I'm pausing. I'm a little
because
bit.
nobody would look at a roster and be like, this roster sucks. I think they're gonna have a winning season.
And part of that was the schedule too. Third easiest schedule in the league.
Sure, 100%. That was a part of it.
But look, now I'm gonna point the thumb at myself. Like I should have been smarter about it. Like I saw what I saw was exactly what I worried about was that, look, beginning of the year, schedule softer. If they don't pile up wins,
they had to get at least 6 in the first 9. And they didn't get there.
And then now it turns you're playing the division. This could get ugly. Now, the way it's gone, they actually were 4-2, should have been 5-2. Then maybe they show up in Arizona and actually play and don't play and then New England, all these things. But then even in the division, they've been right there. Mm-hmm. So
my thing was with them with the record, and that's a great point, Steve. That certainly factored into everybody's prediction. But they had to get to at least 6-3 in the first 9, and not just because of the math. Like the math thing is cool. I was like, they get to 6-3, they can split the back 8, still get to 10. Right? The math part of it was fine, but more than the math, if you don't get 6 wins against these 9 teams, you aren't that damn good. Right. So you aren't going to beat these other teams.
Well, I just thought they would get better as the year went on, and instead they've actually gotten worse. And where I point the thumb at myself, look, dude, this is not rocket science. This is where I look at polls too. You can't win in the NFL if you're not good up front. And when I looked at the Bears' offensive line, it ain't there. When I looked at the Bears' defensive line, it ain't there. So how can you pick this team to do well?
Bears, the city, the fans, this was the most delusional offseason I had seen.
Everybody was drunk off.
Everybody was drunk off the Caleb and Adunze. We got him. And in my head, I got in my Lee Corso voice, not so fast.
Not so fast,
Not so fast, my friend.
It's time for the legendary Lee to retire.
Right.
Sidebar. Sidebar.
Yeah.
Love the guy. He's been a legend. He's been a part of my whole life.
Right.
Let's not let him keep going out there and doing this to himself. It's not good. It's not good.
But it talked about having protecting those guys up front, and the Bears not paying their offensive linemen, and it's going to bite them in the butt, and it ended up doing that.
Yeah.
Quickly. It's not going to matter what weapons we have. We can't get it to them because we cannot protect. We gave up 7 sacks.
Yep,
7 sacks.
Yeah,
7 sacks. Like,
well, how about just the sheer way? Like, and maybe I could flip you back on polls. Maybe needs to go. Maybe both of you. How about the sheer way that they went about the center position? You traded and chase Ryan Bates, who's got an arthritic shoulder and has barely played center in his life, as the guy that you are targeting. Yeah. That hasn't been on the field twice. You went after him, and then your backup plan was Coleman Shelton.
Yeah.
And you're I mean, and the guy that you drafted to play center, he's at best a bad fullback. That is an important position. Like, I don't understand how you can do that.
If we want to talk O-line, and we were talking that in the spring, right? This isn't going back and saying that people were saying he needed to address that in the spring. We want to talk O-line, big strike on his report card. Big, no problem. I have no pushback for that.
Right.
That's a huge gap, huge hole on the roster, right? Now, if you want to talk about that, cool. But also, we were talking in the spring, oh shit, we got Rome and we got Keenan and we got DJ and we got Cole and we got Gerald Everett and we got DeAndre Swift and we got all these weapons, and everybody was so excited to see Caleb play point guard with those weapons, and kind of to the point of giving this glaring weakness at O-line a little bit of a pass. But through 17 games, that's going to show up. And now the kid's been sacked, 56 times, something like that?
Most ever by.
How the hell are you not able to evaluate linemen? You're a lineman.
Yeah, he was hoping. He was reaching. He said in the spring at the owner meeting, like, we think Ryan Bates is going to be the center, and the starting center. I was like, oh,
well, they also,
I ain't never seen him do it.
They tend to live in this non-reality land, which we got, like, every week's a great price. Dude, as far as the O-line, you had Nate Davis here all of last year. There was nothing to like. You couldn't take your medicine and say, we have to move on. I'm sorry. It's not that hard to find a right guard.
You got to do your due diligence. You got to call. You got to
do it. Yeah.
But even if you didn't even if you didn't do that, move on after last year.
His coach said we like players that practice. Like,
I'll be damned if I'm a GM and I can't find good doggone linebackers in every round.
Right.
Like, this guy can play.
He can do it.
Tell you. You know what I mean? He can be a hell of a special teamer, and if we need him, he can do spot work.
Right. Like, it's not easy to go find a QB. I get it. Like, it's swing and miss all the time. All right. It is less hard to go out and find how about an every down running back? No disrespect to DeAndre Swift, but, like, I don't know. Derrick Henry was out there last year. How would that dude look in a Bears uniform? I mean, you guys were sniffing around Saquon Barkley. You could have been the dude that paid for. Wait, what was that? Okay,
I said especially him and Justin, King Henry and Justin.
Oh, well,
that would have been nice in the backfield.
And that's fair, by the way.
Derrick Henry not coming to Chicago.
For those of you out there who want to do a dance on the Justin Fields thing, go ahead.
No dance.
You go ahead. No, but you might not want to do a dance. Some people do out there. You can do it. I don't think long term you're going to be right, but, like, you want to. Would the Bears be better right now this year if they had kept Justin and
that's what I always said. It was the fastest path to the Super Bowl.
It's the fastest path to the Super Bowl. Correct. To build, to get all those picks, to get all the linemen, get all the weapons, everything that you want to do, move it back. And what you end up doing is you move that pick back. You get two in this upcoming year, and you have the opportunity to get Shedeur, or you get whoever that top guy is. But
now we got Caleb probably looking at his third OC. In 12 months, by the time next season gets here,
sure. And you can talk about all these different players. These running backs aren't going to come here and play under this system. You got to get it. They'll play under like a Ben Johnson. They'll play for a Baltimore. They'll play for San Francisco. Teams that actually commit to running the ball, like true runs. You know, not what we do.
Well, which speaks to Poles' biggest fault. Look,
Dave Montgomery looks like he's worth the money that they didn't want to give him.
Oh, that was a big one too. But I'm saying, look, it wouldn't have been fair to Matt Eberflus, but you lucked into this number one pick. You're taking Caleb. You owed it to Caleb. You owed it to the Bears. You owed it to yourself to marry up the coach with the QB. And some people who you talked to around the Bears did not think that he had the power to do it at that point. And I would tell Ryan Poles, again, can't rewind back and do it again. He could have said, look, if you are not letting me do my job, I am not going to be your general manager. We cannot set this kid up to fail by staying with a defensive coach who doesn't know what he's doing as far as offense goes. And I do not trust us to nail this OC hire. That's crazy. Which And they didn't. He could have thrown down right there, and he didn't. You could have, and I don't know, like a
little bit, Mick Foley, a little bit.
Wait, what's second?
No, I'm in the comments.
Okay. I mean, I'm
thinking
like you, right?
I don't know. I'm thinking about the Saints when what's Buddy's name that's at Denver right now? Sean Payton. When Sean Payton got there, and they traded for Drew Brees, and but they drafted who they drafted?
And they did draft a quarterback.
They drafted a quarterback, and Drew started that first year, and then they ended up trading him to the Saints. Both quarterbacks had great careers, but like
you're talking about Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers, yeah. But at the Saints, like he didn't marry himself to that first quarterback. He said, "I'm going to go get my quarterback and bring him over here with me." And then that's when they married him. He married himself to him.
But which is fine. But he knows offense. He knows what he's doing. Well,
I mean, we're the Bears.
Offense.
All right, we offense along those coaching lines. I want to get to and everybody else. We want to get to Lance's grades coming on back here. But first, I think we all could use a cocktail. Shout out to our friends shout out to you, Gregory. Miller Lite. Start your night off right. Get yourself a Miller Lite. Lots changed over the years. One thing that hasn't, that's the great taste of Miller Lite. Another thing that hasn't changed, that's right, it's less filling. Best thing about the original light beer, that's right, tastes great, less filling. This debate's been going on since 1975, 2 years after I was born.
That's it?
That's kind of depressing. But anyway, Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. Maybe this crew will go have a couple Miller Lites after the show. The official beer of the Chicago Bears. You don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has the great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered to your door, visit MillerLite.com/CHGO football. It's a great way to support the show. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. And, ladies and gentlemen, you know that our good friends over at CHSN, the Chicago Sports Network, we are sponsored proudly by them today, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox. CHSN is broadcasting over 300 live games for the Hawks, the Bulls, the Sox. Full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content as well. Chicago-based, Chicago-built, Chicago to the core, bringing it to every corner of Chicago across 77 neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit CHSN.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Hawks, and Sox games all season long. Professor,
let's do it.
Dial it
yes,
up,
the
baby.
professor is back. I would put no B+. There's no way. That is the lowest grade I've given this year. Yeah, buddy. That was a lie. We're gonna get a lot of low grades today. Listen,
gonna set some new marks today, baby.
Yeah. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it, fellas. Listen, offense. Offense, I gave an F. All right. I don't think there's a surprise there, but and I think the kind of the nail in the coffin for me too is dancing in the end zone, dancing and celebrating when you're getting blown out. It's not even competitively close.
Not cool.
It's not cool. It's not cool, to me, that means you don't get it. We're not getting it. So too much individualism. We gave up 7 sacks. We gave up 7 sacks. I mean, there was a play where their D tackle, I mean, he absolutely just mushed our center right out of the way. Caleb had no chance. No chance.
38 yards on the ground from DeAndre Swift. Yeah. Darrington Evans got 3 carries. Caleb had 4, ran it 4 times for 27.
Yeah.
At one point during the game, we had 9 yards to their 219.
Insane. That was like halftime.
4 yards at half.
At one point in the game,
4.
They had more first downs than we had yards.
They did.
It's crazy.
They did. I mean, what was it? The first half they had like 300 and some yards. We had that's so crazy to me. Like,
hold up. Oh, yeah,
some of these sacks. The kid has to. He's like, when is he going to learn to stop taking some of these sacks? Some of them are not on him. Some of them, like you said, it's A gap immediately. Nothing you can do about that.
You can do about it.
But some of them is like, bruh, please do something else. Throw it away. Bail out of there. Do something.
He's got
now. To his defense, he took a sack on third down after Keenan Allen dropped a ball that was catchable.
Truth.
After the next play, and both of these were first downs.
Yeah.
And DJ Moore drops another first down, takes the sack on the third one. But to me, the receivers caused that sack.
I know let him get in the rhythm,
Correct.
get the ball out.
He was sacked on third down 4 straight possessions in the first half.
And Nick Moriano asked Coach Brown about that in the press conference today. And it's just like, come on, bro.
56 sacks, by the way, is the most ever for any Bears quarterback in the history of the Bears in a season. We got 4 games to go.
I thought that was Justin's problem.
He's got more. I mean, he has more sacks than anyone in the history of the sport of football played in Chicago. That is, he's got to get rid of the ball.
It's everybody. Coach Brown answered Nick. He said it's everybody, and it is everybody. It's the play call. It's the receivers. It's the O-line. It's also the quarterback.
Caleb's got. Look, the last time he threw a pick, you have to go back to London. When DJ Moore was wide open and he missed him stunningly bad. We were sitting next to each other, Herb. I was like, how the hell did he miss that throw? That's the last time he threw a pick. Please throw an interception. Throw 17 of them the rest of the way.
Put the ball in harm's way. Let this thing fly a little bit.
255 straight hold on. It's 255 pass attempts in a row. No pick. Dude, you're allowed to throw a pick. You're a rookie quarterback. It's okay.
Right.
Sling it. Sling away.
Sling it.
You are not trying to win at this point. I mean, it'd be sweet if you did. Let's end the
figure out what we can and can't do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Peyton Manning threw like 40 of them joints his rookie year.
Yeah. Let's find out what we have. Let's find out. Let's build on our connection. Let's build on this connection we have with these receivers and these windows. Yeah. Defense. F-. F-.
Was E not available?
Correct. FQ, whatever it is.
G, whatever comes after.
Yeah, you are retaking this class. It's awful. It's awful. You guys, you become the Swiss cheese. You know, you can't stop the run. Which is alarming. That you can't get into a gap. Our backers don't play downhill enough. Now, yes, TJ was running around. He was absolutely a tear, but you still need to do better playing downhill too. You still need to play downhill, and if you're two gapping, you need to be able to fall back with intent. It's a shame that we can't stop the run, let alone anything else that the team does. It's a shame that we allow arguably the top tight end in the NFL to run free in the field. We're not rerouting him. We're not cheating toward him. You know, Juwan Jennings, I expect him to have a big game because we're shutting down all the other names.
Yep.
Okay.
That's, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, man, sure. Who's this guy? He made a name for himself today because the other guys had low numbers. You know, but everybody gets to play for San Francisco.
Right. He can't run wide open in the middle of the field. Like you can't. He had to be a major factor in your preparation all week, like we talked about earlier. And he's like, you got to have a cloud around him. He go this way, or we got a backer to his inside. We got a safety over the top. We got a nickel to his outside, or like he's got to be in a cloud everywhere he goes. And then if Jennings is eating one-on-one, have yourself a day, brother. Have yourself a day. But this dude right here, no.
When they were showing the highlights of how he's getting open, like I was waiting for this like sweet move that he made.
No,
he just meandered his way.
Free release,
no redirecting, no hands on him. Like, come on, we can't. Unacceptable.
I played in I remember being in a room with all of our coaches, and there was also detail. Shoot, Coach Eric Washington was in it too. Mm-hmm. He was in some of these rooms, and we were so detailed about this team that we're playing, the players that they want to go to. You know, and it always takes me back to the Cowboys and Jason Witten, because Jason Witten was Romo's number one receiver.
And his number two.
And his number two. So we want to see everything that he does, everywhere he lines up. And when he lined up, if we were in man coverage, I'm cheating to him right now. I want to make Romo go somewhere else. If we were in cover 2 and I knew he was in my area, I'm going over right now. I'm going to get a reroute on him, or I'm cheating his way right now because that's what they do.
Yeah. Right.
And it's so I don't understand what's happening in the coaches' room and why they're not as detailed.
Didn't y'all take the ball from like 5 times in one of them?
We took the ball. Oh yeah,
you had
like
like a couple picks that game, right?
Games.
Yeah.
Great games.
Yeah.
So and I think it's fair that you're saying the coaches, but it's also like y'all should be on this, right? I mean, this is not.
I don't hear.
This ain't high level stuff.
Yeah, right.
Respectfully to Lance, in my own opinion, this ain't high level stuff.
Yeah,
like this is their best player. Let's put an X on him. Like let's highlight him in red, yellow, whatever you want to do.
How are we going to stop these plays? Because he's going to run these plays, all the plays that he ran in the game. Those are the plays he's going to run this week.
Right.
How are we going to stop
him? And I mean, it could have been, hey, Jonathan Owens, I don't care what you do. This guy's he is not catching the football. Make it. You want to get paid? Stop him.
Period. Like, and going back to the run defense, I expected a fall off when Big Billings went down. Jaquan's been out. I expect a little bit of a dip, right? To me, along with TJ, those are your best 2 run defenders, Jaquan and Billings. They're both out, a little bit of a fall off. But we're not letting guys just run free through the middle of our defense, man. And how do you go untouched from the 5-yard line for a touchdown? I don't know how that happens, Briggs. Like it's condensed. We know y'all about to run the ball. How do you go untouched from the 5-yard line? I'd rather a guy go untouched 80 yards. Cool. He had a gap. He had a crease. Boom. He hit it. He went untouched 80 yards. But to go untouched 5 yards is insane to me.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but they ran like an option, and the quarterback kept it. I'm like, he should have just given it to the running back. He would have scored. Almost untouched. Because whoever that defender was, he wanted no smoke. He wanted no parts of the smoke.
And by the way, I know the Bears were completely lost yesterday, and Brock Purdy's not having his great year. But all you people out there is like, yeah, Brock Purdy's a good quarterback.
He is.
Brock Purdy knows what he's doing. Brock Purdy's solid.
Chandler, Arizona, Perry High School, baby.
No, he's a good player. He's a good player, no doubt about it.
All right, special teams. This is the highest grade of the day. D-. Because a good old 4th round pick, Tory Taylor.
Tory Taylor.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go.
Wait, you can't give a D-. The guy, he was 52 yards gross at 49 net. Like it's the most that the punter's done. That's just that bad.
Because
we're that bad. Yeah,
because we had 4 yards of offense at halftime. So a few weeks ago when y'all was killing Tory Taylor, I said you can't a lot of times he's punting the ball after drives have stalled. He can't have a 50-yard net if he's punting from his own 40. Like it's just that's just not.
No,
you know what I mean? Or from the opposing, from the plus 40. Like, you can't do that. So this time, we weren't moving the ball at all. So he's like, let me just boom this thing 60 yards. And shout out to Josh Blackwell, too. When Tory hit that thing 60 yards, JB was down there quick, tripped up the guy, limited the return.
Listen, I've been very vocal here. I didn't think the Bears had the luxury of drafting a punter in the 4th round. It's got nothing to do with Tory Taylor.
Oh, you didn't like it. You didn't like the pick right back. I'll give you that. You was the first person who's like, I don't know about this.
But the 52.7 average, long as 60 at 316 yards, 2 inside the 20. Tory was solid yesterday.
Oh, facts.
But okay, I get it. He's just.
They didn't have a game changing play though.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. Cairo made his extra point. That was sweet.
Yes, he did. He did.
What about my guy Josh Blackwell stepping in there?
Josh Blackwell had himself a game. Returned a punt and had a couple nice tackles in kick coverage and punt coverage.
Good job, Pauls.
Didn't Blackwell also fair catch a ball that was inside the 5 or like
he
right
did.
around
He called it at the 5.
Definitely let that bounce.
Let it go.
Yeah, he should.
Let it go.
Yeah.
A lot of
coaches will tell you put your heels on the 10, and if it goes over your head, like I'm a little more aggressive than the 10, maybe 6 or 7, but yeah, fair catching at the 5. That's not great. It's not great.
If you have a Devin Hester back there,
sure.
You know what I mean. But
no rules.
We haven't seen him.
He can bring it out from 9 yards deep if he wants. He's done it.
I mean, you literally now just your guys are getting me thinking as you go through the list here of just something that literally everybody did wrong here. You could go through it, but go. What's our last grade here?
All right, coaching gets an obvious F. When you're lacking in every facet of the game, offense, defense, special teams, clearly you're not going to get anything higher than an F. So I think it's deservedly so. They earned that. Coach Brown did not have his guys out and playing motivated. They didn't seem as if this is the coach we want to play for.
Right.
You know, which is a little upsetting. You know, but it says a lot. It speaks volumes of where this team is and how individual they are right now.
So as we get to the top of the hour here, just a reminder that it is a great time to become a diehard.
Let's go.
We got some incredible breakdowns coming this week of everything that's going on. The draft, obviously. We got a shot at this top 5.
It's getting there.
It's alive.
It's getting there.
So our draft coverage is going to be incredible. It's $48 to be a diehard right now. You get a free T-shirt right in the door. So you're almost paying for it right there. AllCHGO.com. Access to our Discord where we've been hanging out a ton lately, which of course we'll continue to do. Herb was in there.
I finally figured out how to get in there.
That was sweet. I'll be on there today on my train ride home. So listen, we appreciate everybody that's done it, and allchgo.com if you want to jump on in. A ton of events coming up here. We're giving $100 off. You want to hang out in a suite for Derrick Rose's retirement night, January 4th, when the Knicks are in town. That's going to be sweet.
Ooh.
Who was right?
Gotta love
man.
Poole.
The
Great
suite
Poole
takeover. I mean, I didn't know that we were going big level here. I mean, suites. I mean, I'm when we go to events, I'm comfortable sitting in the last row of the upper deck and hanging out. But we're going suite now.
My nose bleeds too much.
Lawrence Benedetto from his office pointing out that perhaps at like one of our events I left and went downstairs and sat in the 5th row because at the Milwaukee game because I just felt
you are a man of the people for a little while.
A little while.
You did it at a Blackhawks game too. Yeah.
All right,
you got a bit of a track record here. I don't know.
See, hold on. So like if I'm coming to support the Cubs guys, I feel like if I hang out for like 5 innings with Cody and whatnot, I can go down and sit there. If I'm going to a Hawks game, I feel like I could sit there for Jay, and they're not there for me. When we go to a Bears game, Arizona, sit in the last row up there, I'm there the whole game. But I feel like
like Braggs is legit man of the people, right? He's one of the guys. You
bricklayer.
You are like one of the people. Man of the people who like still wants the people to know that it's a privilege to be in your presence. So you still got to show them a little bit that I can go where you can't go too. I'm man of the people, but I want you to know this is also an honor and a privilege.
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
And you it too. It's got nothing to do with privilege to hang out with me. It's called. Listen, I've been. I mean,
I'm Mark Carman.
I've been sneaking down to seats my whole life.
There you go.
Right? I mean,
Hustler.
That when I was 10 years old going to Chicago Stadium, you could hop over the hockey boards. We'd get there at 6:35 when they opened up those gates. Mezzanine seats were $16 a ticket, and I'd walk down into the box. I'd hop right over. And, Bulls would come out, and I'd be giving high fives.
I've been working the system for a while, Carm. I get it.
I know how to work the system. Why would I sit up here when those are open down there? I don't get it.
Right.
Why would you do that?
And now you got all access. So why?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on now.
You are the alderman.
Yeah. I mean, I want to bring everybody down with me, but, there's only 4 seats. So you guys got to hang up
it's
here.
All right, Carl. You got a lot of skins on the wall in this industry in Chicago. You've been putting points on the board for a long time.
Damn right.
Take advantage.
I deserve
Damn
those
right.
You do.
Come on.
Man of the people, kind of.
I like to call that the old victimless crime. No one's sitting there.
They ain't hurt anybody.
Yeah, let's go. All right, a couple super chats to get in here before we get out, and maybe we can touch on a couple of topics that I haven't hit on. Alex Ammerling, $5, appreciate you. Bears fans need to boycott this team until George sells. They're not going to do that, Alex, but I appreciate the thought. Arctic, $5. Caleb Williams has basically broken every record he can with us, and we're worse than last year. That's true. Setting all the rookie records for Bears quarterbacks. I like Justin Fields' leadership and team movements any day. Bears equal soft. Look, let's just be clear here. If Justin was the QB, unless they hit on some significant draft picks, we'd be sitting in the same damn ass position. Maybe a little bit better. But you wouldn't be,
You'd have one of those top tackles.
Correct. If he's here, we have a different. There's a different makeup.
roster.
We'd have a different tackle on the left.
That's fine.
Shane Waldron was still going to be calling those plays to start the year.
They'd still be
true.
They'd still be the 4th team in the division. Maybe we'd have 6. I don't know. I mean, let's live at some level of reality.
We don't want to talk about this.
Caleb's going to be just fine. He's a really good player. He's going to continue to develop. He has to stop taking some of those sacks. Great throws to the end zone to Rome yesterday, specifically the first one. Caleb is not the problem here. Like, everybody who is a huge lover and supporter of Caleb Williams gets offended at the mention of going the other way with Justin. It has nothing to do with Caleb.
Right.
Correct.
Nothing to do with Caleb. It just would have provided some opportunities to get some other assets in here. Maybe you get a proven vet off the roster, same way you did when you traded the pick for DJ. there were some other options available that are, maybe could have advanced this mission a little faster.
Well,
Correct.
And it would have been his 4th year. I mean, in the the whole thing. So with Dre Day, $2. King Poles has 14 wins in 3 years as GM. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
No one's. We touched on that one.
That. You got it. You're right.
And then Crystal, the MVP, $5. Just sending love, guys. There's nothing else to say.
What up, Crystal?
Happy Monday, Bear.
What's going on, Crystal?
I mean, Crystal. Let's be honest. Crystal's had it.
Real MVP. Yeah, she didn't pack it in on this team.
Crystal's giving everything she can. The fact that she's still here and still breathing is impressive for how much she's put into this. So, I mean, we should all have the courageousness of Crystal, honestly.
Somebody sent Crystal a Miller Lite, but
Hold on. I put a couple things in here that I want to touch on before we get out of here. All right, this question of the pound. Do you think they win another game?
Nope. But I would.
Steven? No one.
I
give
had
him
said
one.
that. I had said that weeks ago, though.
When did you first say it?
I said it weeks ago. We talked about it. I want to say at least 3 weeks ago. I said I don't see them. I don't know. Like you, some of you guys think down the stretch there's a game here or a game there that they might be able to win. I'm like, I just don't see it.
Season died in Arizona.
It really did.
My whole pregame report was that game. Like, this is a must-win game. If they lose here, the season's over.
Yeah.
Now, whether I thought they would go winless from that, I don't know. But it was done. The season died in Arizona. Some people think it died in Washington, but the eulogy was read in Arizona.
What do we do in this offseason? How do we attack the offensive line?
They got ample resources to do it. They got 3 picks in the top 55. They got $80+ million in cap space. However you spend the money, free agency will come first. So if you decide to spend big on a left tackle, cool. Now we figure out who are the best interior guys in this draft and how do we maneuver. If we need to go up, down, whatever we need to do, figure it out, because maybe you don't need to invest for a guard. So maybe you can move down a little bit in the draft, whatever, accumulate a couple more picks. But you got 3 in the top 55 and you got money. So you should be able to get 4 new linemen. You need 4. Unless you're going to bring back Tevin and hope he can stay healthy. I love Tevin when he's healthy. He's just not healthy enough.
We need that dollar store general deal with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to get a deal.
If he gonna cut us the discount, cool. Other than that, you get Darnell Wright, you get 4 new dudes, and we roll.
And if we don't win another game, we're in that top 5. We're right there.
You might get the best left tackle.
We might be able to, yeah.
If you talk about Shador and Travis Hunter going and some of those guys, and
be able to trade back, get some more picks, and get the tackle, get the big guy that you want. Yeah.
Drew Brazil Dahlman, center, Atlanta. Been hurt some, but has made 36 starts over 4 years in the league. He was originally, what round was he picked in? I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't. He was a 4th round pick. Somebody of that ilk.
Yeah.
It's where that's one free agent.
That's where the evaluation comes in. Yeah. Like you are an O lineman. Your assistant GM is an O lineman. Like Lance said, if he can't identify linebacker talent, that's a problem. So you should be able to flip this whole O line sans Darnell Wright this year. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday. Like, they can't get 4 new guys. Why the hell you can't get 4 new guys?
Yeah, you can definitely.
You got picks and money. Go get 4 new guys.
Mm-hmm, please do.
Okay.
I don't hate Braxton Jones. He's serviceable, but he's never going to be elite. He's never going to be top 3rd.
So the Braxton thing, why would you let a guy from a strategy standpoint who has trouble anchoring, why would he be dropping back 3 yards, letting a guy get a full run at him and drive him? He's got to hit. He's got to go first.
He's got the longest arms. Use those. Ralph back up.
But the things I'm sure if you were to look at his draft evaluation, the things that held him back are the things that we're talking about right now.
Sure.
It's what sets him apart from the top guys. And it's why he's not a top guy.
Well, and then Braxton, I'm rooting for Braxton, one of my favorite people in that locker room.
Yeah,
he is massive up top,
and then
but downstairs it's not there.
It's not.
He's not
built like a pear, like an upside down pear.
Yeah,
upside down. There you go.
Yeah. He's kind of built like that. I was joking on the show last year, and I was like, he just needs a BBL and he'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't have an ass. He cannot sit down and anchor. And you just look at him when he's on the field. His pants are sagging off of him. Like it's just like, if get that dude, like, get him right. And I like Braxton. He's athletic. We also saw him pull around a couple weeks ago, lead DeAndre on that touchdown run. But if you can get, somebody who can be a top 10, top 5 tackle in this league, and you want to do that for Caleb.
Yeah, he's got no base, and he's got to create some sort of lean to create torque.
Yep,
and that's already that puts you in.
Look at the professor. Let's go.
Yep, that's a tug and pull all the time. Yeah, tug and pull.
Charles Leno is like his ceiling.
Yeah,
that's just like we've seen this movie before.
Don't put that in print, Jim Richards. He's massive upstairs, but downstairs is not there. That doesn't look good. Let's not do that. All right. I just rewinding back as we wrap up here. Nicholas Moriano, our guy on the press conference today, and Herb, you crushed it too. Nick's last question to Thomas Brown was, what gives you confidence in this locker room that they can, maintain, come out of this, do something. Yeah. And he's like, we have no cowards here. We have no cowards on this team. We have no I see that look. We have no cowards on the staff.
That's cool.
Do you agree with that, Lance? We have no cowards here? What are you seeing?
Sounds good.
Yeah, no, sure. He's got to back his guys and say no cowards. Right, it sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm a man of action, so I want to see what we do. What you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say, man, to be honest with you. And Bears have spoken very loudly of their play on the field. So
easy.
Yeah. I tune that other stuff out.
Yeah, are they cowards or not? I don't know. Like people be like, I ain't scared. I'm like, you don't got to be scared to get your ass whooped.
Correct.
You could be down for this fight and get your ass whooped. Like it's just, whatever. You're not scared. That's wonderful.
And usually, when you get into it with someone and the first thing you say is, I'm not scared of you.
A little scared.
You're scared of him.
A little scared.
You're scared of that. Right?
A little worried.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of Mike Tyson. Okay. All right.
You're right.
See, worried. I always raise my hand. I'm scared. We're going to have a fight? No, we're not.
I'm going down to the sweet level. That's right. No. Get off your
These legs are going to be moving. I'll tell you that much. I'm not squaring up with anyone ever.
All right. So I know you're wrapping up. What still matters? Is there something that matters this season? Is there something that we can look for and glean some optimism or say this matters, that matters?
I need the defense to stop the run, number one. I need them to stop the run. I need them to show that it matters. Every play matters, and that they can show some semblance of what they were in the beginning of the year, because when this offseason comes, we can't just completely rebuild. We've got to build on what we have, and we don't know what we have right now. Mm-hmm. We don't know.
Well, hopefully we don't know, because I almost feel like we do know, and then and that's a worse scenario. To answer for me, Herb, it's, can they find an ability to start a game and look like an actual offense?
I'm on.
Like, why? What is happening that it takes you till the second half to find any rhythm here?
Coach Brown started his press conference in his opening statement. He's like, "Listen, I don't tell the guys to start slow. I promise y'all, I don't tell them to start slow."
Right. And so he's like, if I knew how, obviously they're not unaware of it. Yeah. If I knew how to fix it, I could fix it. Okay. All right. Look, I don't, I'm not consider saying I have the answers, but I would just love to see this team look like an actual team that has a functioning offense in the final 4 games. Caleb's not a rookie anymore.
Right.
You've been through the wars here. You've written the up and down. It's in progress.
Question. And I conceded that Adam Hoge was right. I still think he was right. He changed my mind about whether or not to elevate Coach Brown versus Coach Hightower or somebody else.
Yeah.
Hoge changed my mind on that. I'm still with him on that. But the 3 weeks that Coach Brown was the OC, the offensive arrow was going up.
Correct.
Up. Points were on the board.
Yep.
He takes over at full duty.
Down. Yep.
And that offense comes crashing back down.
Right. Well, and to your point, it was a calculated risk. Look, man, most important thing on this team right now, 18. This guy's bonding with 18.
Right.
18's talking about his aura. He's sitting up there figuring out what to do. Now, but the thing is that
if you holding the newborn baby in the house, like, hey, you hold the baby. Don't be like, hey, go cook too and clean up while you hold the baby.
Right. Well, that's what they did. And you know, it could be. Listen, his chance of being the head coach of the Bears, I'd give it 2%.
It dropped a lot.
Yeah.
So
like, did they make a mistake? Could they have elevated whoever? Richard Hightower, doesn't matter. Eric Washington. And
it was a tough position to put anybody in.
No doubt.
And then to use that as an evaluation of whether or not he can be the next guy.
Or you know, it would have been very unpopular. Everyone's freaking out. You could just left Matt Eberflus alone. What's the difference? No, we know we're not hiring anybody on this staff.
Just give somebody else the end of game responsibilities. Like, hey, you can call the defense all you want. Okay.
Hey,
at the 2-minute,
Jalen, you can yell at Flus.
At the 2-minute, let Coach Hoge take over. He makes all the 2-minute decisions.
That would be amazing. I'm keeping myself as head coach, and I'm also demoting myself in the last 2 minutes. I will be leaving the sidelines,
and I will be passing the challenge flag over.
Right. Let Coach Hoge call timeouts, challenges.
Raise your hand in the chat if you missed Matt Eberflus. I know somebody does out there.
Hey, that defense didn't look good yesterday. Yeah, that's just the reality.
So, all right. Well, we got Braggs After Dark tonight. Him and Corey Wooten will be rocking it at 7 or 6. Do you know, Steven? Whatever it is.
I can look right now.
Yeah, we'll double check that. What do we got? What time is Braggs After Dark? I bet he'll be saying it.
7.
7 o'clock tonight. Must see show. I enjoyed you and Gregory last night on my drive home.
Got after a little bit, huh?
You guys really went at my avatar there. I was real
hey, that 70-yard putt.
Yeah,
70-foot putt. I mean,
yeah. No, this dude. Lance in Arizona. I was just thinking about that. It's just crazy to me. Herb. We were sitting in London.
Yeah.
They put up 35 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, you, and who was in the middle of us?
Was it Nick?
No. It was
Nick wasn't sitting next to me. Oh no, it wasn't. It's Sean Hammond.
Sean Hammond, right? Sean Hammond was.
I'm so used to sitting next to Nick.
Yeah, and they put up 35. He threw 4 touchdown passes. Could have thrown 6.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have not won a game since that. That's unbelievable. We go to Arizona. We had a great time in Arizona. It was a great time.
Yeah. Oh.
29-9.
Yeah. We had a great
unbelievable.
What do you call the gathering after the funeral?
We're sitting Shiva?
Memorial?
Nah. The repast. We had a great repast at the place across the street from the stadium.
Salt.
At Salt.
Yeah.
We had a great repast. Lots of people were out there. We hung out. We laughed. We
Bears
reflected.
fans everywhere.
But we knew this thing's done.
Bears showed up.
I didn't know.
They showed up and showed out.
It was done.
Bears fans did. They showed up and showed out.
They were out there. They were out there.
But we forgot the actual Bears.
Yeah, man.
Somehow.
It's rough. Anyway, I you got to move forward in life, but I got to be honest. I did want. I wouldn't mind a rewind. It was the greatest thing in the history of the Bears. We were 4-2.
It felt great.
It was 4-2 going to the bye. It was amazing.
It felt great. That flight back from London was smooth. Like
we were going to the
Bears
playoffs.
fans were celebrating on the plane. And it was all good.
It's a 4-way race in the NFC North.
Yeah.
You noticed this last week. They're like, it's a 3-way race in the NFC North.
Eliminated.
It's bad.
Under 500 for the 11th season out of 12.
Sheesh. Meanwhile, Mike Tomlin's never had one in 18 years.
That's unbelievable. That's insane. That's insane. Thomas Brown, you could still be the next Mike Tomlin. Just channel yourself. Quit saying nice things about these guys. Be mean.
Yes.
Call it.
He's an offensive guy.
Yeah.
He's an offensive guy.
Yeah, okay,
you know what I mean? Like you would get that. You would get something like that from like a Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, he's going to be cold-blooded, honest about their performance and what happened.
Yeah.
I loved me some Vic Fangio press conferences.
About Leonard Floyd still getting sacks against the Bears.
Vic, what happened? What happened? We didn't tackle. You tackle. You don't tackle. You're not going to stop anyone.
That kind of matters.
Facts.
Vic, you guys got to be we got to be better. Next. I mean, I loved Fangio. All right. Hey, have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you watching. Become a Diehard at ALLCITY.com. I'll be in the Discord later this afternoon. Braggs and Woot tonight at 7.
Yeah.
Shout out to hit the like button for Lance on the way out here. 191 likes. Let's get this up so we can move it around a little bit. Hit it for Herb too. Don't have to worry about me. I appreciate you.
Man of the people.
We'll see you tonight at 7, tomorrow at 1.
We all silly like the mayor.